Hello, folks. My name is Adriano Sella. I'm a software engineer at Border0. Today we have a very exciting demo for you. We'll be demonstrating Border0's new PagerDuty integrations, and we'll go over a couple different use cases to help you get started. So here we are in the Border0 admin portal for my personal organization. The first step to integrate Border0 with PagerDuty is to navigate to the organization settings, choose the integration submenu, and click on the Add New button. In this page, you can see a list of the currently supported integrations, along with a short description of the integration's use case. If you'd like to learn more about an integration, more thorough explanations are available in our official documentation at docs.border0.com. You will notice that there are two PagerDuty integrations, the on-call integration and the events integration. We'll dive into them one by one. First, let's look at the PagerDuty events integration. This integration allows you to emit alerts to PagerDuty whenever there is a session or audit event in your Border0 organization. So for example, if you do not expect anyone to ever SSH into your production hosts unless absolutely necessary, you can configure Border0 such that if anyone does, the on-call person for a PagerDuty service will be notified right away. Similarly, with this integration, you can configure Border0 such that if anybody makes administrative changes to your Border0 organization, like creating access tokens or adding a custom identity provider, the on-call person will be notified. Before we add this integration to our Border0 organization, let me run you through my demo PagerDuty account. I've got a single PagerDuty service tied to the default PagerDuty escalation policy for which I am currently on call. Next, we'll integrate my demo PagerDuty service with my Border0 organization. There are two ways to achieve this. One way is to manually install the Border0 integration in the PagerDuty service directly on the PagerDuty console, and this will generate credentials which must then be provided to Border0 via the new PagerDuty events integration form. If you're interested in the manual flow, there is a step-by-step guide you can follow in the official Border0 documentation for the PagerDuty events integration. The second and much more streamlined way to complete the integration process is to use the guided installation flow, accessible directly on the Border0 portal. This link will take us to the PagerDuty console, where we will consent to Border0 pushing events against the PagerDuty services that we choose. Upon clicking Connect, we are redirected back to the Border0 portal with service IDs and service integration keys for each service that we selected for the integration. Upon clicking Submit, the new integration will be created within your Border0 organization. You should see a new integration of type PagerDuty events appear on the list of integrations for your organization. At this point, the integration process is complete. However, we aren't done yet. The next step is to reference this integration in the notification rules for your organization. To do this, navigate to the Notifications submenu within Organization Settings, click on the Add New Notification button, and select PagerDuty Events. From there, you'll give the new notification a name, pick the correct PagerDuty Events integration from the dropdown. You will also need to provide the PagerDuty service ID you'd like alerts to be sent to, and you will need to select which events you'd like to generate alerts for. In this demo, we'll pick both new and failed sessions. At this point, we've integrated our Border0 organization with a PagerDuty service and defined a notification rule to notify the PagerDuty service on every new session to a socket or service in our Border0 organization. Now, let's put our integration to the test. To demonstrate the integration, I'll expose my laptop over an SSH service in my organization, and then connect to it as a client. Remember, we anticipate a PagerDuty alert to let me know immediately of any new session, so we can review the access and take action as needed. And there it is. There's the page. We can review this alert in the PagerDuty console, where we can go over the results of the policy evaluation, and we can view it in the portal, where we can then terminate the session or view the authorization result as needed. Let's go ahead and terminate the session. and we've kicked our client out. Perfect. And that wraps up the demo for the PagerDuty events integration. Before we move on to the PagerDuty on-call integration, I'll take a moment to clean up my PagerDuty account. I'll resolve the PagerDuty alert such that there are no incidents ongoing for my demo service, and I'll disable the Border0 notification rule we've just added. Now, let's look at the PagerDuty on-call integration. This integration allows Border0 to use state from your PagerDuty account, such as the on-call schedule and whether there are incidents ongoing, in order to make access decisions. This integration is particularly useful if, for example, we'd like to make some of our servers accessible only to the on-call engineer for a PagerDuty service. Let's go ahead and create a PagerDuty on-call integration in our Border0 organization. As noted in the official Border0 documentation, we'll need a PagerDuty read-only API key for this integration. As PagerDuty account administrators, we can get one from the PagerDuty console. Navigate to Integrations, API Access Keys, Create New API Key, give your new key a description, make sure to select Read Only, and go ahead and click Create Key. Copy over your key, go back to the portal, paste your key, give your new integration a name, optionally a description, and click Submit. You should now see a new integration of type PagerDuty under the list of integrations in your account. At this point, we've completed the setup for the PagerDuty on-call integration, and our demo Border0 organization has visibility of incidents and escalation policies in our PagerDuty account. The next step is to make use of our newly configured integration in a Border0 policy. We'll navigate over to our organization's policies page, where we'll modify our default policy. We'll add a reference to our PagerDuty integration, and we'll configure it to require the connecting user to be on call for our demo PagerDuty service. We can now go ahead and click Submit. And from here, we can verify that our policy looks the way we expect it to. We've modified our policy to require connecting users to be on call for a PagerDuty service. Now, let's put our modified policy to the test. We can use the built-in policy tester to verify that our policy yields the expected results for a given access request. As you can see, access was granted for this test request, in part due to me being on call for the PagerDuty service we configured in our policy. Now let's modify our policy once again. We'll add an additional requirement against our PagerDuty integration. We'll now require that there is an incident ongoing for the PagerDuty service in order to grant access. Let's go ahead and test our policy again. This time access should be denied, as there are no incidents ongoing for our demo PagerDuty service. And there it is, incident requirement didn't match policy. No ongoing incidents for the PagerDuty service. Now I'll go and manually trigger an incident in the PagerDuty console so that we can retest access with our policy. Note that the target service for our new incident is our demo PagerDuty service. Alright, let's go back to the policy tester and hit test. This time we expect access to be allowed, as both I am currently on call and there's an ongoing incident with our PagerDuty service. Okay, we know you didn't come here to see a demo of our policy tester, so let's test out our policy with real sessions. Recall I've exposed my laptop over an SSH service with Border0. Access for this SSH service should be evaluated against our policy, which currently will allow only the on-call person, in other words myself, and only while there is an incident ongoing. Okay, let's log into our test SSH service with Border0. We'll run something that produces output every second. If we go back to the Border0 portal and navigate to session logs, we should see that there is an active SSH session. Inspecting the authorization result for that session, we see that the policy was evaluated as expected. It tested that I am on call and that there is an active incident in our PagerDuty service. The neat thing is that our policies are not only evaluated at the time of access, ongoing sessions are continuously evaluated against policy to ensure that they are compliant throughout the duration of the session, which means that if I go ahead and resolve this PagerDuty incident, we should get kicked out of the SSH server. And there you have it, folks. That wraps up the PagerDuty on-call integration. To recap what we did, we looked at the integrations page in the Border0 portal. We highlighted the two available PagerDuty integrations and their relevant use cases. the PagerDuty Events integration, which enables our Border0 organization to issue PagerDuty alerts on certain events, and the PagerDuty On-Call integration, which enables our Border0 organization to use information from our PagerDuty account in order to evaluate access. It has been a pleasure to demonstrate our latest feature to you today. See you next time.